up in expulsion and eventually ending up in the correction system. And of course, Ms. Fatuga, let's look at some of your experiences in terms of what we're talking about here today.
Okay. Well, I think one thing that I did want to bring up is that there are a lot of things that can be done to stop and destroy the prison pipeline at its roots. We've done a lot of research, and so we understand that number one, zero tolerance policies have to be addressed. The juvenile court system is going to have to be restructured. We can't just continue to bring in different programs and put bandages on the situation. We have to restructure the program, which is actually, it's called BARGE, Balanced and Restorative Justice, and it's recommended by our federal government, but it's something that we have to do here. The other thing is looking at how our young people are policed and reshaping how we view harm and how we allow our young people to make mistakes, to learn from their mistakes, and to repair the harm that's caused. Does that mean that we'll just stop suspensions and expulsions altogether? No. Does it mean that we'll keep every single child from being incarcerated? No. But there are definite things that we need to do so that we can make these changes and save as many of our young people as possible. And so we're launching a really big campaign. The young people have named it Set Your Own Bars, that they don't have to answer to these statistics. They don't have to become a statistic. They don't have to prescribe to the youth violence and all of these things. And they don't have to bow down to this system of oppression of this actual prison pipeline that's funneling them, that they have the power to make the changes that need to be changed. And so phase one, which is what we're in right now, is educating the community and building a stronger base of young people to participate. We've got some really amazing high school and college students who are leading the way, paving the way, but we can always use more. We can always use more hands. And who knows better what is happening than the young people who are in that system?
Ms. Hughes, when you think about some of the things that Ms. Fatuga has said here, can you build your own experiences into how you felt when you were expelled from the school system? I mean, what kind of emotions overwhelmed you during that time, and how long did you feel depressed and et cetera in reference to that? And what negative impact do you think that this had on your life?
Well, I think the negative impact that it had on my life was it took me away. It took me off track. I wasn't able to finish and have the grades and apply for the colleges that I wanted to, or attend the things that I wanted to attend as a senior. I haven't been to prom. I haven't really did anything senior-wise, like senior week or anything like that. But I think when she said us naming our campaign Set Your Own Bars, even though that happened to me, I have always set my own bars. I have to want more for myself if no one else wants it for me. So we're just doing things with teens to get them out so they can be able to set their own bars. Like, it's a difference to set bars for somebody, but to set them for yourself and to want that for yourself is different. It's nothing wrong with having encouragement or someone to back you up, or just friends, someone to lean on, a shoulder or anything. So we have peace projects going on, and we're meeting every once in a while, and we're just coming up with strategies on how to deal with life in general. It's team-based. Everything is done through teams, by teams, and we're just looking for great ways to motivate people who want to be different and expect more, and who's willing to set their own bars.
So would you say that the very fact that you were expelled for this period of time in that part of your academic educational career had such a negative impact on you that it was very, very difficult for you to overcome, and evidently you've overcome all of that, not perhaps all of that, but many things in your life before, up until now. But do you think that that had a tremendous impact upon you deciding to come back into the system? Were you led by Ms. Fatuga? How did you simply overcome all of that, pull all of that together?
Well, it was very hard because it was a gap between my reading and what I knew was best, and what I knew I could know in the future that would help me. And it was just a gap between my GPA, my ACT scores, everything was just a gap. And it's like, how could you put something back together if it's a gap? So just coming back to school, it was difficult, but I knew it had to be done, because if I don't have my high school diploma, how would I manage to get a great job in the future, or go to college if I want to do that, or even receive a higher paying job? So it was difficult, but it was all worth it. Like, Rashida helped me out. It was a bunch of college students who talked to me, different people that I got to meet, and just to hear their side of the story and what they go through and how they didn't stop. I was just stay persistent.
And so you think what you're talking about now can have a real impact upon a large number of other young people who might be caught up in this transitional school kind of situation?
I think so. If they're willing to do it, then why not do it? It's nothing wrong with doing it with someone who's doing it like you want to do it, and just doing it together. So I think it will have an impact on them. But if you're not determined, if you're going to play around, those are not the people we're looking for. We're looking for people who's really willing to set their bars and do better in life.
So that's the name of the program, Set Your Bars. In other words, determine where you want to go and what you want to do. Is that what we're saying here?
Yes, sir. Where you want to go and where you want to be in life. How you want to be viewed versus how someone views you.
Pastor Walker, and I think we've got about 3 minutes before we end this show for today. But in a real sense, I think that this program, if replicated generally throughout the metropolitan system and everywhere else, would have a very positive impact upon many of our young people. Would you say that from what you know about what they are doing?
Well, I know for sure that the impact that it may have had on her, and her ability, her resilience to bounce back from it all is not something that you may find in a lot of the students, you know, that they're going through this and experience this thing right here. Fortunately for her, she has that within herself, and then she had a support system around her to help her to be able to navigate her way through this. And, you know, then they brought down the standards and stuff like that, you know, even set roadblocks when she got back somewhat into the system. Now she's saying that, you know, she's not been able to experience a lot of things that she would normally have experienced as a senior who had a determined mindset to excel in the things that she was in school to accomplish. So there was a whole lot that goes into that process. But what I really like to do is be able to identify to your audience here how they can get in touch with Gideon's Army and the Peace Project, so that we can create some partnerships and move this thing forward.
Ms. Fatuga, why don't you give us that information about how people might be able to get in touch with you and how they might be able to help you in order to perhaps make this a much broader operation than you have.
Thank you. Our phone number is 615-852-7530. And our email address is onearmyunited, that's ONE, armyunited@gmail.com.
And so they can get in touch with you, and you've got some information that you can send out to them and sort of encourage them to do other things. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we have got work. We are gonna, if you call us, we are going to put you to work. There are so many things to do, from voter registration to volunteering with young people to hosting events. I mean, there's so many different things that can be done. So,
Pastor, final comments.
You know, and we need that help. We need that help. We need it from people who have children in the school system who are experiencing that. We need that help from people that have children in the school system who are not experiencing that. We need voices from both sides of this thing, because this is so important, because it's affecting our children, and if it affects our children, it's going to affect the whole of society, because after all, we're saying that the children are our future. So if the children are our future, seem like we will want to be actively involved in nourishing our future so that we can have a hope. So I'm encouraging people to get involved. Call the number, you know, get involved with Gideon's Army, and let's make a difference. Let's do something instead of just sitting around complaining and talking about our youth. I mean, our youth are caught up in the school system, man. They're putting them on all kind of ADHD medication. Dr. Haney, when I was an intravenous drug user in the prison system, I used to shoot Ritalin. You know, we call it BAM, you know, get high on it. And they're giving this to our school children because they simply don't want to take time out to figure out how they can teach that child. So they send them, rush them out somewhere, miss